Hi
Yes.
everyone, I'm Jasmine Kaur. I'm a student pursuing my master's in clinical psychology. And with us, we have Miss Asira Shirmule, who is a speaker for today. And I would just like to take a moment to introduce her to all of you. She is the director of Atha Center for Psychotherapy and Training, Thane, Mumbai. And she has done her specialization in clinical psychology. And she's an associate fellow and supervisor of rational emotive and cognitive behavior therapy from,
Yes, I did it from Albert Ellis Institute,
yes,
New York.
and
Yeah.
she is also trained in cognitive behavior therapy from Beck
Yeah.
Institute of Cognitive Behavior Therapy, USA. And she's also a Gottman leader, and she's a consultant psychologist at Sunshine Wellness Center in Vasai. And she's a visiting faculty at Vivekanand College of Arts, that is also my college. And the topic we'll be discussing today is how to cope with conflicts within family members. And as we also introduced in our little introductory session, that why we chose this topic is because we felt the relevance of it, as during the lockdown, families are spending an increased amount of time with each other, and there is a little more vulnerability these days to conflicts. And so, which is why we will be discussing this topic today.
Yes, I think, and this topic is again, we'll repeat the topic, which is how to cope with conflicts within family members. And Jasmine
Hmm.
is going to ask me a few questions. And
Yes.
if you have any questions that particularly you want them to be addressed, please feel free to post on the comment box. We will be
Hmm.
more than happy to answer those questions.
Hmm.
Right, Jasmine? So great, we
Yes.
can start. Yeah.
All right. So my first question to you is: can conflicts be avoided?
Yeah, I think that's that's something most of us would want, definitely like to avoid conflicts altogether. But
Hmm.
to be very honest with you, Jasmine, I think conflict, the word itself is really very strong and we
Hmm.
use it quite intensely. But remember,
Right.
conflict is nothing but, a disagreement or a concern
Hmm.
or a different opinion, a differing idea, a different way of perceiving and doing things. That is
Hmm.
what we can say is a conflict.
Hmm.
And whenever we are living in a family unit, see, now in a family unit, definitely we have more than two members. So when we are living in a family unit as a group, it is very very natural to have disagreements and clashes over so many topics and so many ideas.
Right.
So these clashes are very natural, and hence we cannot avoid them. Definitely we can try as much as possible to minimize conflicts. We can make efforts to minimize conflicts, but to avoid them is not always possible, right?
Right.
And many a times, we keep avoiding them till a certain extent, and a day
Hmm.
comes when it is all coming up, and they come in such speed that we really, it's like we explode from within. So I would tell all our viewers that conflicts are very natural. They're a part of growing as a family. So use it as an opportunity to grow and to understand each other in a deeper level. And Jasmine, I was thinking
Hmm.
today that we have this interesting topic. So I would like to put the theme for this topic as from conflict to cohesion.
Right.
Maybe we can move our perception from conflict to
Conflict to
cohesion.
cohesion. Right. So as
Yeah.
you mentioned, I agree with you. The word conflict is taken in a very negative, like it has a very negative connotation to it, right? Like it's used very intensely. And I think it's a myth that you've just busted, that, that they can't be avoided, but we can learn to manage them, right?
Right. See, we can just take our friends, Jasmine. When
Hmm.
when we have our own group of friends, we will have some friends who we do not gel well with. Like, we just are cordial with them,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
some friends we cannot even stand them. Sometimes, there's certain perceptions that they might have. We may not stand them, but
Right.
yet we can live together, right? A similar strategy we have to use with our family members.
Hmm.
Obviously, we didn't get to choose them. We
Right.
got these beautiful family members, so we have to make it as an opportunity to just rise rather than just going down.
Hmm. 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 Right. So, my next question to you is, when we are in the middle of a conflict, since it can't be avoided, so how does one manage their anger, or how to stay calm during a conflict?
Yes, now that's seriously something that we need to think how to remain calm and you know maybe how to remain peaceful during conflict. See,
Mm-hmm.
firstly, it is not possible to remain calm in conflict. That cannot be a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have to build a goal while we are going through a conflict, we have to stay healthily disturbed. See, disturbance is created unhealthily also, can be created unhealthily also, and it can be created healthily also.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find this balance and remain healthily angry than being unhealthily angry, right? So it's like when we are preparing a meal or if we are making a dish, we add some salt
Mm-hmm.
for it to taste better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without salt, the dish is going to be like not going to taste that great. Definitely,
Yeah.
we both of us, we won't have that dish. So
Yeah.
these healthy negative emotions are like this pinch of salt, which is needed,
Mm-hmm.
to make life more interesting, to be more sensitive, to grow in each opportunity, right? But
Mm-hmm.
too much salt in any dish is going to make it really problematic for us to have,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this unhealthy anger is like too much salt, and healthy anger is just like a pinch of salt which is needed, right? So to
Yeah.
answer your question, I think we can frame it like this: how
Mm-hmm.
to remain healthily angry in a
Right.
situation and not become unhealthily angry. So there are some simple steps which I can discuss with you, and you can
Uh,
share your.
right. Before that, can we just distinguish between healthy anger and unhealthy anger? Like, how do we define both of these concepts?
Right. So, healthy anger is it's something like it will help you to problem solve in any situation. It
Hmm.
will help you to have your opinion. It will help you to assert your opinion, healthy anger. And basically, it will help you to think about solutions to solve a given problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are moving towards our goal in healthy anger.
Okay.
It doesn't make us feel stuck in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what healthy anger is. But if you ask me, opposite is unhealthy anger. In unhealthy anger, we will we our focus is not on solving problem but on blaming each other. In unhealthy anger, our entire focus is on probably going back to past and getting a lot of these episodes from the past and making a storyline, and just we are keep on repeating the storyline, so we are not actually solving any problem. We are just accusing each other and building the problem actually.
Right.
So
So,
it's simple. Mhm.
healthy
Yes, you.
anger basically helps you do something about the situation. It takes you somewhere, right?
Yes.
Whereas unhealthy anger, it will allow you to, like, stay there, maybe ruminate more on past experiences, and, build more on it other than, solving the problem.
Right. Unhealthy anger is going to keep you stuck there and it won't move you anywhere. Like you'll remain there forever.
Mm-hmm. So that's a very good distinction that we've established here. And I think you were going to talk next about the tips to stay healthily angry.
Right. So the tips to stay healthily angry and not unhealthily angry, simple tip is point your attention to the other person's point of view. Try to
Mm-hmm.
think from the other person's point of view.
Hmm.
See, many a times in our conversations with family members, it happens that we are stuck with our point of view and our idea, that my
Hmm.
idea is the right idea and this is what listen to this, listen to my
Hmm.
idea. We all do this, and we keep on asserting our idea again and again without actually understanding what they have to say.
Right.
Like for example, you are sitting with your family members and they are telling you,
Hmm.
build a career for yourself, you have to start being responsible. If they're telling you this, we are just and we are blank, we are just talking about my our own idea, that I'm doing my job, I am working hard, can't you see that? But we don't understand their point of view in it. The point of view is only for us to think of more opportunities and grow. So
Right.
I know it is very difficult during conflict, but try to
Hmm.
look at their point of view and not, at they're not accusing you. Just look at the point of view. One strategy. Second strategy
Hmm.
is don't have have an don't think of having perfect family members. You'll never get them, or you will have to leave this planet, probably go to some other planet. So, like, see, I'm not like trying to be very demotivating, and I'm saying
Hmm.
that we don't have a great family members. Obviously, we all are blessed with lovely families, but we should not try to get a perfect father, perfect mother, perfect sister, perfect cousin. There are no perfect individuals outside. Even we are
Hmm.
not perfect. Even after knowing so many things, we repeat the same mistakes. We make the
Hmm.
same errors again and again. So even they are not going to be perfect, right? So we all are creatively flawed in our own way, creatively, uniquely flawed in our own way. So
Hmm.
understand your family members with the limitations. Many a times, we feel very disturbed because suddenly we think, "अरे ये change क्यों नहीं हुआ है अभी तक?" Yesterday only I explained it to him that you are not supposed to be this dominating. Today morning again he is very dominating. But
Hmm.
tell me something, a behavior cannot be changed like this by you telling someone to change it. So
I feel sometimes,
sorry.
sometimes we also have images of, like perceptions that they should be like this, like my mother should be like this, my brother should be like this. So I think this relates to the point where you said accept them with their limitations.
Yeah, we have to, like, many a times. Yes, I think that is a good point, Jasmine. That we have to let go of this, should philosophy that they should be a certain way. No, they need not be a certain way. If they should have been a certain way, they would have been. It is as simple as that. But they are not that way means that they will have some, they will take time to improve, right? So just to sum
Yeah,
this
yeah.
up, I told three strategies. One is
Hmm.
look at their point of view. Second is we do not have perfect family members. Do not aspire for any perfect family member.
Hmm.
Third is accept them with their limitations, which is very
Right.
important. And the last one, which I would like to really highlight for all of us, is look into the mirror, see yourself, and look at your own shortcomings. Obviously, your family members do have their own flaws, but you as a person, I think we also have our own flaws, which we carry in
Hmm.
every relationship.
Hmm.
So every now and then we should look into mirror and learn to work on our own flaws also.
Right.
We are also not perfect daughters, girlfriends, perfect mothers, or perfect individuals, right?
Right. I agree. So these are great tips to remember during conflicts.
Yes,
And
during.
how about after conflicts? How do you manage your emotions? How do you cope with the aftermath of the conflict?
See, aftermath can vary, differently for each
Hmm.
individual. It
Hmm.
depends on what was the conflict like, and how do you actually work on the aftermath of a conflict. So, see, your own emotions can actually come up after conflict.
Yes.
So, and those are really very strong emotions. I
Hmm.
can imagine how painful also those emotions can be. Most common emotion is anger.
Right. Anger,
After
maybe
conflict.
guilt.
Yes, there can be guilt, there can be anger, there can be a lot of hurt within.
Hmm.
So, there is four common emotions that come up post conflict. I would like to name them. One is
Hmm.
anger, as you rightly said, guilt, then
Hmm.
there is hurt, and there is
Hmm.
also depression. So these are the four common emotions that you have to look out for, just see whether you are experiencing these, label them first.
Right.
So why labeling is important here is to understand what you're going through. Only then you can treat it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Hence,
Hmm.
first, you try to label out of these four emotions which you are experiencing. Label these emotions. Secondly, don't express these emotions while you are very overwhelmed.
Okay.
Many a times what happens is we want to fix a problem, and after conflict immediately we want to fix it. I don't know
Hmm.
where that idea that comes in our mind, that immediately we want to fix things. So and we think by expression during that time we can fix
Hmm.
things, but let me tell you, when an emotion is actually overwhelming, you are not able to think clearly, and you might say things which you later might really regret.
Hmm.
So while you are feeling very overwhelmed, please do not express these emotions, right? Second important tip here is means it is related to the first tip that I gave is give yourself to calm down. Give yourself cooling time, come to normal temperature, calm down a bit, think through the situation,
Hmm.
right? And then the third important tip here is see the whole situation and not just your part in it. So if a conflict has happened or if a conflict has taken place, see the
Hmm.
entire situation, that why it has happened. What is the conflict trying to communicate with me? That is very, very important, right?
Hmm.
What is this conflict communicating to me? What is it saying to me? It says something to all of us, but we are not listening. So in that cooling time only we will be able to listen. That's why these three strategies are very connected. Am I
Right.
sounding sensible to you, Jasmine?
Yes, absolutely. So accepting that you are feeling and, like naming the emotion, what you're feeling will help you understand. I think even that will help you understand the situation and what it's trying to
Yeah,
tell you, right? Like if you're
right.
feeling anger or guilt as you name the emotions, and
Yes.
only don't say anything when you're overwhelmed with your emotions. That is very important.
And
Yes.
when you when you are a bit cool down, when you have calmed down a bit, only then you will be able to see the situation as a whole
Hmm.
and not just get entangled in the parts, right? And
Right.
the last tip here, for all of our viewers is also after after the conflict has actually occurred, try to
Hmm.
express it to your friend, try to speak about your feelings and thoughts to a trusted friend, or it could be a relative, or it could be a cousin, someone whom you
Hmm.
trust a lot. Speak to them about it. Sometimes expressing what you're feeling or thinking can really help you to gain some clarity uh,
Hmm.
to your understanding.
Right. I think that's a great tip because since we are all in a lockdown, we can't go out for a walk or like go somewhere else or even some people the therapist is not physically present. So I think just calling someone and speaking to someone can help people express their emotions and what they're feeling.
Right, and because you are asking me these questions during lockdown, one more strategy
Hmm.
comes to my mind, which
Hmm.
people can actually engage in, is
Hmm.
actually, have a to do list. Stick to a schedule. What happens, Jasmine, is when
Hmm.
a conflict has occurred, we
Hmm.
think that being inactive is going to help me. Lazing around, not doing anything, just
Like
sleeping.
withdrawing yourself from things that you usually do.
Yes, that's an apt word, like withdrawing yourself from activity and just lazing around and being,
Hmm.
laid back is going to help. But actually, that is quite detrimental. And it can actually cause more suffering. You get more
Hmm.
ideal time to think
Hmm.
and to overthink, right?
Right.
So I would suggest this activity, that have a to do list and
Hmm.
stick to a schedule on
Hmm.
purpose, because our mind is quite agitated after conflict, so it needs taming down, and that
Right.
taming down a schedule will give.
Like doing something else other than just sitting not doing anything and thinking about the conflict again and again.
Right, doing any pleasant activity, doing any productive activity, like for example, you have to write a few pages of review, you can do that. If you want to learn guitar, you can do that. You can
Hmm.
paint, you can sing. Any
Hmm.
pleasant or productive activity you should do when you're feeling really disturbed after a conflict.
That's a great tip. So
Yeah,
these are some of the things that we can apply to ourselves, right? And right.
true.
So is it like possible, or is it like can we help others regulate their emotions? Like for example, if you're not involved in a conflict, like some other family members of yours are and they're disturbed after the conflict, so can we help them regulate their emotions?
Yeah, I think this is quite an important question, and I think good you asked me this. That can we help others to regulate?
Hmm.
See, definitely we can help them, but they have to do the job. Like they have to actually do it, right?
Hmm.
But if I have to answer this question, I might say we can provide them with facilitative conditions. So
Right.
what can be those facilitative conditions is,
Hmm.
you know try to help them by gifting your presence to them. Give them your presence. It means what? Stay with them, check on them, call
Like being
them.
there with them.
Yeah, just be there with them. See, many a times, Jasmine, in this busy world, we say that we are with each other, but through actions, we may not do that. We might just say it,
Hmm.
right? But, I think it would be very important if all of us actually are actually there for each other. So we should try to check on each other. We can send them a message or call them. If they don't
Hmm.
want to speak to us, maybe through message, we can. Right? So one is give them your presence. That could
Hmm.
be one most important, uh, strategy that you can use.
Hmm.
Secondly is give them the atmosphere to express themselves, in a free way. Means what? Don't use statements like "don't cry," "you're a strong
Hmm.
girl," don't give up so easily. So don't use these suggestions during that time. Do not give them suggestions, do not preach, do not give advice. Please stay
Hmm.
away from all these three things: advice, suggestions, and preaching.
Teaching.
So so then what you should do during this time when they're actually going through a breakdown is just acknowledge their emotions. Means what? Say things like, it is really hard that you are going through this situation right now. I can't be there physically with you, but know that I'm there with you. This situation may not pass in a speedy way, but we will try to go through this
Go
situation.
through this together. Hmm.
I know the situation can be very difficult for you. Take your time to express yourself. Cry if you want. Tell me what negative thoughts you are getting. See, many a
Hmm.
times, when someone shares a negative thought with us, we immediately give them advice, or we shun away that thought.
Or we replace that with a positive, some positive statement.
Yeah, or we replace it with some positive, and this is not going to help.
Hmm.
At these times, they need people who will just listen to them intently, actively, without giving them any suggestions.
Suggestions, right?
So, just tell them, what negative thoughts you're getting. I know you feel like giving up. It is very natural to feel like giving up at these moments.
Hmm.
Acknowledge their negative thoughts, acknowledge their emotions.
Hmm.
I think this strategy is really going to be very helpful.
Right. So acknowledging their emotions, like what they're feeling, and just being there with them, giving them a supportive environment can, help them
Can
feel
help them
better.
a lot. And
Right.
many a times, if they are not able to handle these emotions, even after you are facilitating, and
Hmm.
helping them and
Hmm.
giving them that supportive environment, please tell them to be open about seeking therapy.
Right.
Ask them to seek therapy, to
Hmm.
seek psychotherapy sessions. One or two sessions will be very helpful for them, because
Help.
many a times we do not have the skills to manage our difficult emotions, and we end up troubling ourselves a lot, right?
I.
And so you can actually motivate them to seek some counseling, to seek therapy, uh,
Hmm.
from a mental health professional, and help them to manage their disturbed emotions.
Emotions. Right. Thank you for answering that. I think those were very helpful tips on how we can help others manage their emotions and how we can help others regulate them better.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of conflicts, ma'am, they happen because of clashing views and perspectives. So, in within the family, like you may not agree with what your
Mm.
parent or your sibling is saying. So, what is an appropriate way to put your view forward to them?
Right, right. And I think the question that you have asked, we have Siddhi who has asked us also one question, Jasmine, that, sometimes during a conflict, there's a tendency of back answering to prove your
Right.
side, but it leads to more conflict. How to deal with this? I think I'll be answering this
Okay.
question.
Okay.
So, how to appropriately communicate. That's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Right. So, see, this effective communication, we can write a lot about it. And I know it is very easy for me to sit here and for both of us to sit here and say. But while we
Yeah.
are in that situation, I know how hard it is.
Yes.
I've made my own share of mistakes and errors too, and regretted them later. But we have
Hmm.
to remember certain strategies and keep reminding these strategies. So, what
Hmm.
are these strategies for effective communication?
Hmm.
The most important strategy is, place your point of view as a suggestion and not as an order. Very important. So if you have to suggest something to your family members or to your sister or to your cousin, try
Hmm.
to place your viewpoint as a suggestion. I'm suggesting that we might go for a movie next weekend and not this weekend. you know how do you think about this? What do you think about this suggestion? So
Hmm.
put your point of view as a suggestion and not as an order, like let's do it next weekend, not like an order. So this
Hmm.
will really help.
Hmm.
How will this help is, you will, it kind of gets you into a very comforting zone where you're also considerate about other person's views
Right.
and
Even they
ideas.
will feel that he's considering my opinion, or, like I
Yeah,
have a say in this.
yeah, otherwise they will feel, I'm just here to like obey your orders. So it's very important to put your suggestion as a point of view. Second, a strategy is, do not use abusive words,
Hmm.
and any kind of abusive language, vulgar language, stay away from it. Many times I know, because we are used to hearing so many abusive words, etc., it can easily come up.
Come
But
up.
most of the times any abusive word will only accelerate the emotion.
Right.
It might feel good for that moment, but it will
Hmm.
only accelerate your anger or your hurt or your you know guilt. It will keep
Hmm.
accelerating it. So
Hmm.
don't use abusive language. Try to not use it. Most important is, do not raise your voice. That is also very commonly seen. All of us do it. We think that by raising our voice, our point is going to be more clear and it is going to be more vivid. But actually, it just, we know what happens. It hampers the entire conversation, and
That's
it
true.
puts like a full stop to the conversation. So don't raise your voice.
Hmm.
Instead, let us raise our understanding of each other. We have to raise our understanding for each other. So how to raise this understanding is, again, I'll give you one more strategy here, is put your feelings into words.
Hmm.
So whatever you're feeling, see, many a times in certain conversations we feel very ignored by the family member.
Hmm.
Like, I remember I had one of the clients who used to tell me, who was actually suffering from depression during one of the, she's a doctor actually. She was planning to give her exams.
Hmm.
The exams, she was trying to clear out her exams, and she was getting very depressed. So she expressed this to her mother, that, I'm feeling very depressed. What
Hmm.
happened is, the mother said that, depression, you are a doctor, you should get over with your own depression. How will you able to, how
How
will
will
you
you treat
be able,
others?
will you be able to help others or
Hmm.
support others if you
Hmm.
yourself are feeling depressed?
Hmm.
So, that time she felt very, very ignored, and very, what you say, she felt that she's not been listening, no one is listening to her properly.
Yeah. She didn't feel validated.
Yeah, she didn't feel validated either. So what will help during these times is, clarify or express precisely your feelings into words, put them into words.
Hmm.
So depression is a very, very strong word.
Strong word.
So you can try to express it using a lot of metaphors or phrases. I really feel as if nothing is going to work. So try to put some thoughts also in your feelings and then
Hmm.
communicate
Right.
for someone else to understand. So put your feelings into words.
Hmm.
Tell them at each and every point what you are feeling. That can also help a lot when you
Hmm.
are communicating with each other.
That facilitates understanding between people.
Yeah, that facilitates understanding, that also clears a lot of confusion with which the other person might be having about what you are going through, right?
Hmm.
So, put your feelings into words. Another important technique here is, try to express your empathy for each other.
Hmm.
So as a family also, like, as an effective strategy to communicate in an efficient way with your family members, express
Hmm.
empathy towards each other. means what? Everyone is going through some or the other thing. Try to hear that and try to express that kind of communication, to them, to their thoughts and to their feelings. Use a lot of I understand statements in your daily communication. I
Hmm.
understand it is hard for you to work so hard at your office and then come home and we have messed up the entire house. We didn't clean the house. I understand that seeing such a messy house can uh, trouble you. So
Hmm.
use I understand statements a lot in your communication with each other. That will also help. And another interesting strategy, which I would like to express here is go beyond the words and look for the intention. So when the other person is talking to you, we are very much we filter only the words, we look at
Right.
only the words, but we don't see the intention behind the words. And many
We
a
pay
time,
attention only to what they say, and
yeah.
maybe, like, we have difficulty looking at what they mean at that point of time, at least.
And why do you think we have that?
Because we're too much into our own perspective, or we,
Yes.
yeah.
And this is also another, I was just thinking about this topic and I thought we give too much importance to self. And it is, again, it's very easy for us to say this, but we have to
Hmm.
somewhere minimize our individual importance and look at the importance as a family.
Hmm.
That will also help us a lot,
Hmm.
to look at what they are going through. So express a lot of empathy and go from this me thinking to we thinking.
Rethinking.
We have to think collectively. I
Yes.
hope these strategies are helpful.
Yes. Palak has made a very good comment. She said maybe asking them, "Does that work for you?" is just
Yeah.
a suggestion. Yeah.
Yes, after a suggestion, yes. Actually, when you give the suggestion and take their consideration and their point of view, I think, thank you, Palak. I think that would be a great statement to add. Does that work for
Yes.
you? Is this suitable for you?
Right.
Right,
Taking others also perspective, like, it helps.
right, right.
Aishwarya has asked a question. Sometimes people face difficulty in saying no, which might lead to certain kinds of misunderstandings or conflict. How can one deal with it?
Okay, so people facing difficulty in saying no, which might
No.
lead to certain kinds of
Kind of
misunderstandings or
misunderstanding.
conflicts. See, how can you deal with this is practice saying no. I think the most, you know, a helpful strategy here is when you have to say no, we have to prepare ourselves to say no. Means we have to try to be assertive. Again,
Hmm.
like in the last session which I had, we did talk about how to maintain your boundaries.
Hmm.
Know your limitations, Aishwarya, as a person, and try to think of how much you can take and how much you can't, right? And many a times, we also might have to explore here what is stopping me from saying no. Many a times there are certain negative thoughts that stop us from saying no. Thoughts like, which negative thoughts? Thoughts like, you know uh, they won't like if I say no,
Hmm.
they will feel bad if I say no, I'm not a good daughter if I say no, right? So we have to work on these unhelpful thoughts, Aishwarya. They might be stopping you from saying no, right? Many a times, we have this habit, or we might have this idea of helping everyone and making everyone feel comfortable
Hmm.
or pleasing everyone, and in that idea we forget that we also have to maintain our self care. We also have to know our boundaries and, what you say, energize your own self too.
Hmm.
So these two strategies here, one is practice saying no, and if you are not able to say no, find out what are some of the negative thoughts that are stopping you from saying no,
Okay.
and know your limitations. Sometimes knowing your limitations helps you to say no. And see, saying no doesn't have to be like very, very abrupt and very aggressive. No, I can't do this. It should not happen. It need not be like this. When you say no, also you can start with validation. I understand that you want me to be there with you today night at the launch of your book. as your supporter, but I'm really sorry, I have these assignments which I have to submit, so I can't be there. So you are considering the other person's viewpoint, but you are also saying no and giving them a reason for saying no. Maybe
Right. I
this
think
can
that's
help you.
yes, that's an appropriate way of saying no, and also considering the others, feelings and taking them into consideration.
Yes, that can really help.
Right. So, ma'am, sometimes when we put our viewpoints forward to our family members or even friends for that matter, we are sometimes met with resistance. That, maybe the other person may not agree with them, or
Yeah.
maybe, but you feel that you are right, or, this is what is right for you. This is what you feel. So, how does one deal with that resistance?
Yes, this resistance can be very common and it can come up in any situation actually, that you really
Yes.
want to resist. You really have to go through a lot of resistance from the other person.
Hmm.
See, one is be prepared for it to come. It
Right.
is going to come. In most situations, it will come. If it is not
Hmm.
coming, then it's great, celebrate it. But if it is coming, just be prepared to deal with it. Now, be prepared means what? Do not convince the other person that he or she must understand your viewpoint. Don't be under this game of conviction
Hmm.
or game of convincing the other person.
Hmm.
You know, understand that resistance can come. Accept resistance and do not be in the mode of convincing anyone. Just stay true to your point of view and put a full stop there. Sometimes agreeing to disagree, disagreeing is the best solution.
Hmm.
Sometimes you cannot meet people at common points. That's the unfortunate part, and that's also most interesting, because see,
Hmm.
we all have different minds, and when different minds are coming together, look at the chaos that it can create and the harmony also that it can create.
Yes.
So it is up to us where we have to focus, harmony or chaos. So it is very important, again I am saying, that be prepared to deal with resistance. Do not be under any such pressure to convince the other party of your point of view. You stay true to your point of view, let them stay true to their point of view.
Hmm.
Agree to disagree with each
Hmm.
other.
Right.
And also sometimes exploring why the resistance is coming can also help. So
Like again,
sometimes
understanding some of their
their
point
point,
of view, and why they are saying what they're saying and
yeah,
why they're
yeah.
resisting.
Sometimes you can look at the whys there, why they are resisting. What is, maybe they have not understood your point, maybe they have misinterpreted a certain point. So
Hmm.
clarify, keep on
Hmm.
clarifying your, ideas and suggestions.
I think being prepared for resistance is an eye opener for me, because often when we put forward our point of view, we just think that okay, it's going to be accepted, but we're not. I don't think we're ever like we ever see resistance coming.
Yeah,
Like
and
not
we have to
not many other times.
and don't you think, Jasmine, every day we have some or the other resistance coming our way.
Yes.
Resistance from the weather, resistance from so many things, some or the other resistance we meet with
Right.
resistance every day.
Right. So Palak has asked what can be done when someone is unable to empathize, because I have heard people saying that they cannot feel empathy towards their family members because of the anger and build up issues since childhood.
Yeah, I think Palak makes sense here. It is true, Palak, that sometimes, anger can be so deep rooted that,
Hmm.
you really need to work very much on it. And that's why I suggested such individuals should seek therapy, because it needs a systematic approach.
Hmm.
Dealing with unhealthy anger, we have a lot of interesting scientific skills and a systematic approach which needs to be given to this individual. Only then these deep seated issues can be worked on, and
Hmm.
it will help them to feel empathy. So maybe we cannot have like a conversation about how to help these deep rooted issues here, but they should really seek psychotherapy in the form of CBT and REBT. These are most scientific therapies.
I think that answers Bhavini's question. Because she wrote, as you earlier said, after conflict, if they cannot handle emotions and feelings, they should visit a counselor for therapy. My question: what therapy should be used?
See, I can vouch for two therapies, which are like really they have made a change
Yes.
in my approach also, which is CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. You can search it online, and REBT, which is
Hmm.
rational emotive behavior therapy. These are
Hmm.
the two scientific therapies systematically developed to mitigate or to help us manage our disturbed emotions.
Hmm.
Right? So you should take sessions on CBT and REBT, equipped with yourself with those skills, and
Hmm.
then you can manage disturbances healthily. That's what they offer you. Manage disturbances healthily.
Healthily. Right. So, ma'am, what are some of the ways by which a positive environment can be promoted in a family?
Right. Now, quickly, I can tell you some steps to promote positive environment. One is, create a family vision, which I really like this kind of an idea is, try to
Hmm.
come up with a family vision. See, something common is there between your family members. It's not that everything is contradictory and conflicting.
Hmm.
Find a common theme and create that as your family's vision. Now, what can be that
Okay.
common theme? That common
Hmm.
theme can be spirituality. That common theme can also be, like, for example, music. That common theme can be animal lovers. Maybe you all are animal lovers, dog lovers. That could be a common theme. So, find a common theme and
Hmm.
dedicate time as a family towards that common theme. Like, for example, you all are going for music festivals together. you
Hmm.
you you are you are committing to a cause for animals.
Hmm.
Maybe you are joining hands with a cause. All of you are contributing towards that cause.
Hmm.
You're attending spiritual classes together. So what will happen is, when you create such a family vision, you get more activities in your in your pocket, which you can actually use. And you also get more family time. You also
Right.
get more time to understand each other and to develop a bond between
Hmm.
each other.
Hmm.
So this is one quick strategy: is create a family vision, find the common theme and build on it.
Hmm.
That could be one strategy to build a positive environment, family environment. Another
Hmm.
strategy, which I can give our viewers, is also, try to share your life stories with each other. Do we really share our stories with our parents and with our cousins and with our sisters?
Hmm.
Some might, but share your stories of life, stories of victory, stories of fear, stories of failure, stories of failed relationships. Share these stories. Your first crush, your first romantic relationship, your first breakup. Try to maybe share these stories. Know your parents.
Hmm.
Do a quick interview with them. Who were their inspiration, who was their inspiration, what are their values, how did they get their first salary, what was their first job. Do like this, a quick quiz and interview with them. That will really help to know
Hmm.
each other and to know the
Hmm.
scars that we all have gone through, right? That
Right.
will be very, very important. Another important idea is appreciate each other a lot. Don't just appreciate when you have achievements on your, when you get achievements, or when
Hmm.
you are getting some trophies. Don't only appreciate during good times. The
Hmm.
most important is to appreciate during sad times, during low times. So appreciate what you can appreciate: efforts, you can appreciate values, you can
Hmm.
appreciate the troubles that they have to face. You can appreciate their strength. Keep on appreciating each other, and let it not be fake. Try to be very sensitive and actually see what they have
Yeah.
done, how much they have achieved till date.
Like
I think,
noticing and letting them know that you are seeing them and like you appreciate them.
yeah. And also, you can, one more activity which I really like is learn not learn, like, I was looking for a right word here, but I don't know if I can find that word. But it's like, share your what you say, most treasured book with them. Share what you like about that book. Share your most treasured movie.
Mm-hmm.
Share your most treasured album with them, and tell them what you like about that book and the album or the movie, and also tell them to do the same. What will happen is, when we do this kind of sharing, we touch a deeper accord with them.
Right.
We go beyond the father, we go beyond the mother, we go beyond the sister, and we actually touch that human aspect, which is
Like we get to
actually,
know them as a person.
yeah.
and not just
That,
the role that they're playing in our lives.
right. I think that's a great word that you use. We have to see all of us beyond the roles. We have to
Hmm.
go beyond that role and see them for what they actually are, humans, right? So thank you for giving me that word. I was missing that word.
All right. If our viewers have any more questions, I think they can put them in the comments below. And
Do we
Preetham has.
have? Huh? Yeah, yeah.
These days, when we are having conversation in groups over conference calls or Zoom with relatives and friends, I'm seeing the scenarios that somebody's pain has overtaken the emotions of most of the people listening. And I have witnessed people collectively crying for the point. To some, it seems very common topic, but to few, it is the issues. These issues are like having a ward out of city or handling kids at home. How do
Hmm.
we deal with it, or how to shift this conversation to resil?
Okay. This resil is what resilience. I don't know.
I guess.
Uh, so what exactly is the? I'm seeing the scenarios that somebody will be overtaken. Okay.
Yeah, so some family members are only like, focusing on the issues that some of the other family members are talking about. So how do you deal with it?
You deal with it by probably discussing with them. I don't know what exactly is the question. I think I'm also a bit confused here.
Hmm.
So when he says but to few it the issues is the issues, these issues are like having a ward out of city or handling kids at home. How do we deal with it? So is he trying to ask about how to deal with these kids at home?
No, I think what he's trying to say is witness, like, some family members are only focusing on the issues,
Hmm.
and some people collectively crying to the point. To some, it seems common topic. Like to
Okay, now
some, hmm,
I would request Preetham Singh ji to actually be more clear in this question, and you can again post it on the comment section, and I will reply to it because I don't want
right,
to answer it just using my imagination. It might create more confusion for him.
right, right.
So Preetham ji, what you can do is actually please, you can again post this question on the comment section, and I will answer it in the comment section.
Yes, we didn't completely understand what you are trying to seek, but so if you could just post it again in the comment section, ma'am, will you be like you'll look at it later, right?
Yeah, I will look at it later, and I will definitely reply back.
All right. So I am done with my questions for you. If our viewers have any more questions, I don't see any at the moment.
Yeah, even I don't see any at the moment. Moment, if they want to ask, they can definitely get back to the comment section and keep asking.
Yes.
Uh, I think, and thank you, Jasmine, for coming here today and asking your questions and choosing this topic. Actually, it's very, very important. I think two themes I would like to point again, from conflict to cohesion. And with your
Yes.
help, Jasmine, look beyond the roles. Go beyond
Yes.
the roles of each family member and see the person that they are. See what they're offering you as a person.
Yes, and I would like to thank you, ma'am, for taking up this topic, taking up such a noble initiative of doing these live sessions on such informative topics with us, with students like me, and we hope our viewers found this session informative and useful.
Yes, I
And
hope that too. And
yes,
we really enjoyed this time. So
yes, we
see you
did.
soon, Jasmine.
Yes, thank you. See you. Thank you
Bye.
for watching, everybody.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.